Today, people say they say we need so much now, more than ever, a message of diversity. Love thy neighbor, if you will.
Be tolerant.
Yeah, be tolerant. Yes. Love thy neighbor, even they look like goth serial killers. They might be nice people. You don't know. Get to know them, man.
Usually a murderous clown attached to the other end of these.
Thank you, old boy. Lead the way.
I just thought it was like regular like phone commercials. Like, you don't want this kind of phone. You want to go with this. And it's like, oh wow, no, this is an actual movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One of those.
Yeah. I heard he had a phone cover from DT Merchant. We actually have new ones, man. Look, they adjusted it for the new iPhones out there. The 3 cameras. Yeah, that's nice, man. I didn't even see that right there. Oh, but of course you got the classic black tooth white logo, along with everything else we have in there. Also, thank you for your subscriptions and donations and listening to us on the SoundCloud, on the podcast, Apple Podcast, Google Podcast. Thank you for all your support and continue to do that for us. You have one more day to join in on this night of comedy, games, and just a little bit of putting people on the fire over there. Who better to deliver that message than the Addams family? Everywhere they go, neighbors just freaked out. People pulling up. I mean, in modern times, they pulling up pitchforks and torches. Get these motherfuckers out of here. Get out of here. You're creepy. You're kooky. Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, I can't blame some of them, but you know, they mean well, man. They mean well, no matter how much they like peeping over your fence. Let's go ahead and take a look at this trailer. I mean, this has an all-star cast too. Isaac, what's his name?
Oscar Isaac.
Oscar Isaac. Charlize Theron as Morticia. Add more sexiness to Morticia. You know, everybody loved Morticia, man. She wore all that black, looked like a witch that loves sex all the time. Even the characters that don't have voices. Thing is here. Oh, hairy ass it. Yeah, all the characters are back.
Uncle Fester.
Nick Kroll as Uncle Fester. Carrie, what was that girl's name?
Wednesday?
Moretz.
Chloe.
I got every name. It says
Chloe Grace Moretz.
Chloe, goddamn, girl, you got too many names. Chloe Grace. Somebody should name you Wednesday. Chloe Grace Moretz. Even that kid from Stranger Things. Finn. Wolfhard?
Yeah, got it. They might be members of the Addams family with those names.
Yeah. Makes it sound like everywhere you go, you just turn dogs on. Yeah. Finn Wolfhard. Oh, you bet I am. Get her.
He get busted for sexual harassment just because of his name. Yeah. You should have heard what he said to me.
Yeah. Look at how he's dressed. What did you expect? But anyway, let's go ahead and take a look at the trailer for the new CG animated Addams Family.
Don't drink it all. This gentleman wants some too. What a nervous man. Welcome to the neighborhood.
Oh, shit, got the hippity hop. You ain't ever seen the Addams Family do that? Shit.
No. Well, you're not MC Hammer?
Oh, fuck, that's right. Do we want to do something? We want to say Addams Family. I forgot about that, man.
Keeping it consistent.
Wow.
Yeah, it's an old tradition.
So even then, man, they staying true.
Home. Fire in the hole!
You sunk my battleship.
This is a comic strip that a lot of people don't know, and that's why I say it's kind of timeless. This is a property, it was a comic panel.
Yeah, panel.
Yeah.
A one-panel cartoon.
This is the original art that you see that was created by Charles Addams, who went by Chaz Addams sometimes.
Damn, he does not look happy.
No, well, he's looking like his creation.
Like, why y'all laughing? This is my real family.
Started in 1938 in the New Yorker. I think it went on until, I'm sorry, did I say 1930? Yeah, 1938. I think it went on for the next 50 years up until, at least they ran up until he died, till like 1988.
I didn't realize that.
But they're still floating around, and it's still a very, very, very strong property. that people look at and continue to try to mine and make money off of. This is more of a testament to Charles Addams and his humor and his art style. You know, that's why I say a lot of people say that this is something that can last for years and years. I mean, this has been going on. A lot of people, you know, you didn't even know the comic strip was that old. Some of your parents out there probably didn't even know about the comic panel. A lot of your parents out there might remember the Addams Family from just the enduring theme song from the TV show back, 1960?
6, man.
We'll take that.
Okay.
They're creepy and they're kooky, mysterious and spooky. They're all together ooky. The Addams Family.
It'd be funny if you just find out this family was just on some drugs or some shit. You know?
Explain a lot.
All just high as They ran a meth lab.
Yeah, they did, yeah.
I said they're all a bunch of heroin addicts.
Yeah. they all sunk in eyes and shit. Yeah, they're all just on that shit, that's all. Family, they ain't creepy, they're up. Some of you millennials, even some of you Gen Z people out there, you might remember it from the 1991 movie, Barry Sonnenfeld, who also gave us a sequel to this. And some of you, if you really dig deep, and this is what I mean by this thing really does, it really does appeal to all generations, because almost every generation has had their version of the Addams Family, even if you don't know it that much. Remember in the 90s, in addition to the movie, you probably remember this.
I remember this.
Had
I watched
an
it.
animated Saturday morning cartoon show.
They're creepy and they're kooky, mysterious and spooky. They're all together ooky. The Addams Family.
Jesus, they're more f***ed up as cartoons.
Blowing things up.
So, with so many versions of the Addams Family throughout the years, it all comes down to the execution, what they do with it, because the style is already there. The idea is already there. And we know the idea will work with a lot of people. And this movie really does try to go through and be, visually at least, as close to the original property as it can. I've seen some of these cartoons before, and I recognize some things. They brought out in one scene a two-headed pig. When I saw that, I was like, oh, I actually remember that from one of the comic panels. And they do a good job at weaving in throughout the movie without calling attention to them. You know, they just kind of use them as like they do with the illustrations here, just as a way to sort of just spice up the environment. The designs of the characters stay very close to the originals. If you were looking at the trailer, you notice that, you know, they've made him a little creepier for modern times. You know, Wednesday, she's all up today. You know, she's like she
bean of a head.
Yeah, they gave her that you would say that bean head right there. She gave her that peanut head, but yet she's way more creepy than she was originally conceived. But for the most part, all of them stay true to their original designs, except for one character, and it's kind of messed up. Except for Lurch. Lurch, they model him off of Michael Shannon, man. You know? I'd be mad if I was Michael Shannon. I'd call him up and like, man, y'all did that shit on purpose.
Yeah, but if you were casting a Addams Family live action movie, wouldn't he be the first person you call
Man,
for
he
Lurch?
would.
Here's a modern day Frankenstein.
Matter of fact, if he held out, you'd be like, we got to get him. Just pay him whatever he wants.
Shit, some people looking at that and they say, that's Lurch. I thought I thought he was at the red carpet. And they do a cool job at setting up an origin story. And they do it quickly in the movie too. I like that they just give you kind of a really quick rundown of where things came from, such as Lurch. You know, I'm not going to say what happened with Lurch, but I like the way they met Lurch. It's a nice gag they have going. It happens really quick, gives you some story. So there's a nice origin to these characters too. You get it at first when Morticia and Gomez are having their wedding, and just like everywhere else they're chased out by the townspeople. So they decide to go somewhere where they will never be harassed and found because no one else wants to go there. Another joke, not as funny, but New Jersey. And Marlon, I didn't write the joke. Marlon look at me like he was mad. He was.
Of course, Corey, you come up with something like that.
I don't blame you, but
I saw the trailer. It was funny.
Yeah.
yeah, they even got a sign that says, "What are you looking at? What are you looking at?" also starts clever with the story. I mean, it's the same old story, but they do put sort of a more modern twist on it, which is if you saw it in the trailer. I kind of like it because it starts out with them moving to Jersey until somebody puts up one of those generic ass neighborhoods that just seem to that pop up out of nowhere, like somebody planted seeds.
Right.
You know, very sterilized.
Planned community.
Yeah, planned community is very sterilized, and they even have this whole motto of become assimilated. You know, just have no personality at all. And it's funny, man, when you see that, because again, that fits very much a theme of this time, because we've all seen how houses today have no personality, and then that's where we get the character Margot, played by Allison Janney, who is a host of HGTV type network. It's called Hag Home and Garden Network. And so I thought, you know, that's kind of funny too. They got a lot of things that are going on, man. And her thing is, man, she's like, look, I did a show where I go in and remodel all these homes. I put my name on it, and realtors and the networks are expecting me to fill this neighborhood up, and I can't fill it up if these motherfuckers are back here living on a hill where everybody can see their crazy ass house. So she has to find a way to get them out. And when they don't bite with all her gifts and her offers of free remodeling, then she goes to just tried and true methods of gossip, just telling everybody that these people want to rape your children and eat your animals and all kind of stuff. So I thought that was a good way to even take a stab at and riff on things like HGTV, because you know they got all those. I mean, it's to a point that's ridiculous.
Yeah, it is ridiculous.
All those shows they got on there about remodeling. We're supposed to root for the Addams Family because they're not accepted for being different and whatnot. Even though this is where things start to take a dip now, because I'm like, no, listen, I know this is supposed to be a villain, but she got a point. Okay. I mean, the house is terribly not up to code.
See,
the property value is going down.
Now that you're a homeowner, your perspective has changed drastically. Prior to this, 3 years ago, you'd have been like, man, leave these people alone. They ain't bother nobody. They should have the freedom to do what they want with their own property.
Oh, no. I'm over at Home Depot getting my pitchfork and my torch too. Get the out of here. Not our children, no. Yeah, man. I mean, man, they do, man. They you know, they get the house is not under code. Property values going down. They obviously have animals and plants that are legal. They're not supposed to have. Lion just roaming through the neighborhood with no leash or anything. Kids and pets are missing. They just every 5 hours they blowing some shit up.
Putrid. Gomez, everyone we've invited to the mazurka has threatened to come.
I know, isn't it wonderful?
All Addams is under
He
one.
need his ass.
That's my boy.
Now, come on, Gomez. That's what white parents do. They let them get away with that. You're not supposed to do that.
He's just acting.
Yeah,
out.
you lad. You're supposed to whoop that ass.
Oof again.
Very well done.
Now, see,
It sounds like Oscar Isaac sounds like Triumph.
yeah.
The insult dog.
To poop on.
Over exaggerating that accent.
Yeah, we invited them to the house. To poop on. Yeah. But you can't have these motherfuckers. Look, I know you're supposed to accept them for who they are, but not when they're a goddamn danger to people. The neighbor screaming.
Got peeking over the fence.
Yeah. My leg. It never takes advantage of those premises, though. I mean, it sets things up very good. All those things I talked about that I liked before, great setup, and then halfway through the movie, they just kind of let it go, and it's because it doesn't know what to focus on. I think that's the biggest problem with this, because
Can I tell you what the problem is?
what's up?
Because I did go see this.
Oh, you did?
I did.
I didn't know.
Last minute, I saw there was one at 3:00. I was like, I can get over there, see this, get home, take a shower, make it to the show on time.
Well, shit, I'm sorry. I didn't know. I didn't mean to like.
I was just gonna let you go.
You wanted to see what's gonna be like, man, this shit is good.
You're gonna trick him right there.
He gonna try to trick me in. Man, I sure love that family. Martin like, well, let me tell you what I think. Let me tell you how stupid you are. See? No, I probably agree with you.
No, I agree with everything you're saying, because so much of the setup, not only is it a tribute to the Charles Addams cartoon, but they pull in a lot of elements from those Barry Sonnenfeld movies and from the TV show. Matter of fact, the end credits are them just doing a straight recreation of the opening credits for the TV show.
Yeah.
And the voice actors are doing a lot.
Yeah.
And especially Nick Kroll as Uncle Fester.
Yeah.
I thought he was on the money. I was like, wow, I think he's my favorite character here. But the problem with what you're saying about how they set all this up, but then don't know what to do with it, it's been the problem with the Addams Family for the longest time.
Really?
Yeah, being that it starts from that single panel gags, but they don't really tell a story. You just see this family. You got your imagination guesses what they might do. So even you go back to the '60s TV show, there's no real episodes that anybody. Oh, you remember this episode? Because they were all just a series of these kind of gags and them doing weird shit.
Yeah.
And if there was a plot, it was forgettable. And then those movies. They're not that great.
No, they're not.
I did not care for them much at all, and it was always because once you start out showing all the weird shit they're into, and you start getting on with the plot, and it's like, this is kind of stupid, and just kind of all over the place, and then now.
Gomez was actually kind of crazy in that movie.
Oh
man.
yeah, as he should be.
Yeah.
So here they try to get something going. You're right. They set up something that's a great satire of all these HGTV shows and all. But the more it got into the plot, the more it was like, I feel like this is just kind of spinning its wheels.
Yep.
And some things that you could get into are getting derailed because you have to get this plot going.
You nailed everything that I was going to be complaining about with this movie too. Right when you're talking about the jokes here, for one. Look, I thought you would have loved it because all these puns they put in here.
People do not understand me in puns.
Yeah, I guess I don't because
they weren't yours. You didn't make them.
Yeah.
I was rolling my eyes a lot with some of the stuff they were doing.
Man, there's so many bad puns in here that just kill any kind of cleverness. They got one scene in here that actually is kind of really creepy and yet it's kind of cool. And I looked at that and it actually made my flesh kind of crawl.
Come now, Gomez.
You know, that would have been cool just as a visual joke, but they
had to underline it with a pun.
They had to put a pun on there. If you're listening, what it is that Morticia, in order to cross this bottomless pit, she has all these spiders come out from under a dress and they cross over the bridge, and she says as keep in mind as they are walking over a bridge
made of spiders.
This is what you call surfing the web. I'm like, bitch, you walking. that ain't what you need to tell us how you fit all them spiders up your pussy like that.
I know. Crabs.
Because as much as I'm like, I'm not really into the emaciated, broads. This Morticia's sexy, especially in the later scene when she's wearing her red dress. But that scene right there, I was like, all right, you just turned it off.
I was like, who wants to put that penis up in there?
Get bit off or sucked in or something.
What's biting me? Oh my God!
Damn, girl, you ain't old enough to have.
Some people have crabs.
This is ridiculous.
Hey, you were too young to be having webs up in there. Now the comic, they did tell these cute little jokes that were almost puns in their own way, but they weren't that straightforward. Like one right here, where it's just it's just cute. It says a daughter looking at her witch mother saying, "Mom, may I borrow the broom tonight?" So what? I mean, it might not be howl out loud funny, but makes sense.
It's cute. That's what it is.
It's cute. Yeah. That's what it is. And plus, you got to keep in mind when this was made.
Yeah, exactly.
So here you just kind of grown, man. But the subplots are what's really killing this. The subplots here are pretty bad, man, because they take up time that could be spent on some of the better things that have potential. Like the family moving in, it would have been cool to see their interaction with more of the neighborhood and the more of the homeowners association and things like that. Instead, we're getting this whole thing with Pugsley and his goth bar mitzvah, which is just a plot device to use for the climax.
Yeah.
It's just a setup, a long-ass setup that takes away some good story right here, a potential for good story. The other one is wasted because it's Wednesday hanging out with the most goddamn boring character in the movie, who is the daughter of the HGTV host, Margot, who, she's making friends with her. And that had the opportunity to be great because Wednesday decides to go to public school just because she wants to see what this is like. And she gets there and immediately gets in the face of the biggest bitch in the school, the bully, and tells her, she's like, no, you ain't, I'm not here with you. You were trapped here with me. I'm like, oh, shit, it's on now. I'm like, and they do two lame things with it. The whole thing with the bully is just, again, another setup. It's set up for the joke you saw in the trailer where all these Frankenfrogs are going after her. And, you know, and they don't even, like the twins, right? They don't even get to know those characters.
No, you don't.
They just I thought she was going to have a clique and a crew to roll with. And that's done. That is out quick. So these are things that are taken away from, as I said, the stories that we could have seen with the family interacting with the neighborhood, more of the neighborhood, other than the neighborhood just reduced to people who are just a riot and a lynch mob. We could have actually focused more on, like, I mean, poor Morticia and Gomez. They ain't got shit to do with it.
I know. I'm like, I feel like I tune into the Addams Family for them.
Yeah.
And they were pushed to the side.
Wow. They got nothing to do.
It's all about the kids, who happen to be the least interesting characters
because
in the
the
family.
kids have to because the kids are, you know, they figure kids are going to go see it, so we got to focus on the adventures of the kids, and that was a bad move right there. Man, Lurch gets more time.
He does.
Seriously,
Lurch gets a lot of time.
So Lurch gets a musical number, and
you have to do that when you cast Michael Shannon.
Yeah.
Didn't Lurch get 2 or 3 musical numbers?
Yeah, he did. Yeah, the one where he just kind of played the piano, and then it was a couple where he played the piano, and one where he sang.
Where Thing was like getting him to like play different songs.
Yeah.
And then another later one where he sings, everybody hurts.
And he does REM. Yeah. It's actually kind of funny too. But yeah, he gets more time than Gomez and Morticia.
That's weird because Gomez and Morticia are kind of like they're like the main characters typically of all the past iterations that I've seen at least.
Yeah.
So wow, weird.
I think again what they want to do was they want to focus on the kids because they wanted kids to relate to some characters in here. But no matter what you feel about the Addams Family movie that came out in 1991, one of the things I thought they did right was they did center on Morticia and Gomez. You know, they're the family hierarchy. You know, they're the ones that are carrying the family, the ones you need to center on, and they're the ones where when you look at the couple and you think they're so crazy and creepy and weird, you start to like feel for them because they love each other so much.
Exactly.
Much like this.
You were so beautiful, pale and mysterious. No one even looked at the corpse.
No. I mean, they were able to actually lay the humor down a little bit better too. You know, it's also too many characters in here that they could probably balance it because like you said, I agree, when they had the family come in, I was like, we don't even need no story. It's just kind of cool seeing them there and because each one of them had their own little bits of animated business.
Yeah, and it's just looking at the design of them, I start to wonder like, okay, what are they like when they're not around here? Are they got to be the freak of whatever wherever place they reside,
other town.
There are other people looking at them, but they're clearly comfortable in their own
skin.
Yeah.
No, they really are. They just rolling in town. They're just like, it was a bathroom, man. And people like, And you know what? I agree with you, man. I give the movie credit. The animation it feels too sharp. And if there's a strobing effect going on, so it doesn't feel like it's
like movie quality.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it feels like more like a TV show. Okay, this is why I finally gave up on the movie, man. Allison Janney as Margot. Also, Bette Midler is in here as the mom.
She was great.
She was great. Yeah, she was. But Allison Janney as Margot here. This chick did something so illegal that even for a cartoon, you like, no, man, you can't get away with that shit. They got to take your ass to cartoon jail for this or something. She did something that is highly illegal, and I was like, no way would you get away with that at all?
Like your show's canceled. Okay, yeah, but there's more coming besides that.
No, man, he tried to wrap this shit up all nice and everything. No, that bitch going to jail. You can't do that.
That's why when you can tell something is strictly made for small kids.
It's strictly made for small kids, and also when they just need to wrap it up.
Yeah.
The movie got tired of itself. The movie got tired of looking at the kids and they get these little motherfuckers out of here. We're done. It was finished. The movie was finished. It was done. And it ended on one. I'm not gonna say what it is, but you've heard me talk about this. it had one of the biggest tropes that I hate in a movie. You know it. You know what it is. Yeah, I was like, all right, you know, I had one small point left to push this over into one area, and you that all up.
You did the thing.
Yeah, it's a rental, man. It's for a movie that is priding itself on a theme of being different and diverse. Do your own thing. It feels just like any other. After a while, it feels like any other family comedy animated movie that's out there.
I went in thinking this is going to be a piece of shit, but hey, it's doing well enough that I should probably go run and see it if I can. And I was at first up and then like, oh well, it's not terrible. I see good things about it. It's that same potential that you see that breaks your heart once you realize that they aren't doing anything with it. There's no excuse for not editing this down and showing it on television. It would have worked better as an Addams Family TV movie.
Except for, you know, being number 2 at the box office.
Yeah, that's that. It's the only thing. But it's a rental.
Yeah. There you go, Pete. You came here wanting to fight. Look at
I didn't want to fight. I was just realized like there was a point where I was like, oh, he doesn't know I went to see it.
I didn't know. You didn't tell me.
Yeah, you're right.
Because our last words were like, don't go see it, man.
Right. And I was like, oh, that's right. I didn't tell him I went. He doesn't know. Well, I wonder how long I can hold on to this information.
Thank you for watching, everybody. I appreciate that. Since you made it to the end of the video, you like us that much, you're not going anywhere, you might as well hit that subscribe button, get notifications from us, and go check out our main site, doubletoasted.com, where you'll find more of us in the form of longer videos such as this one that are uncensored, unedited, and the live streams that we do almost every night of the week. Support us at dtmerch.com. And remember, if absolutely nothing else, you have to remember this. Stay toasty.